Okay, so I look like a mess. I've been in bed all day, but let's talk. So one thing I struggled with for long was unforgiveness and like bitterness and all that. And people were like, "No, it can be that bad. You guys don't understand." I was a genuinely vindictive person. Like I was very close to evil. Mind you, I was a Christian at the time. But like people could not wrong me and the sun would go down when I've not gotten them back. It was bad. Like I was a really bad person at some point. And I like couldn't I would not let go. Like, you know how people are like, no, I could not forget. I would not forgive, nor would I forget. So I would always hold on to it until I got you back. And I was like, well, everything is right with the universe. And over time, the Lord will always point me to how like unforgiveness and how bitterness would always tie me down. Because no matter how much I got a person back, I still felt angry. I was not letting go. I was still like very bitter about whatever they did to me. And learning how to forgive was another process on its own. And for me to go through that, I had to face a lot of the feelings that I had. Oftentimes, I think like unforgiveness is associated with feelings we don't want to go through. Because unforgiveness means confronting one, rejection, hurt, and very painful emotions. It's not an easy thing, first of all. That's the first thing you should understand. It's not going to be an easy process. And a lot of people who ask me advice on how to learn how to forgive, what should I do, all these things, don't understand. There's no way to like bypass these emotions. There's no way to bypass the process to get to the end. I hate like feeling my emotions. I hate it. I was like, ugh, ew, disgusting. Lord, keep that away from me. But the thing about the Bible is emotions are a good thing. The Lord loves our emotions and loves how they work, and the Lord gave them to us for a specific reason. There's no way to use logic to bypass it. If you're hurt, you're going to feel it. The reason why I acted out and was very vindictive and like terrible to people who hurt me is because I felt hurt and rejected, and I had to learn that those feelings were also valid. Another thing I learned throughout the process of forgiveness is you need to bring yourself down. And humility when you've been hurt is a hard thing. It is a hard and difficult and strenuous process because you are wronged. You are the victim. However, as Christians, even at the worst times, you have to be okay with still looking crazy. Because I would be like, no, they hurt me. And yes, the Lord, like, they hurt you. But you still need to go down and humble yourself and still forgive them. Like, forgiveness is a very humbling thing. Another thing I learned as I was forgiving is, like, especially how to forgive, is you need to pray for the person. So when someone would like wrong me, I would curse them. Like I wish I was joking. I would curse you in prayer. And I'd pray the worst to come. I was like, Lord, let a piano fall on their head or something insane, you know? But as I grew, the Lord would be like, pray for this person and pray for good. And I'd be like, oh. So I'd sit there and I'm like, Lord, I guess let them be happy if you so will. And I'd be very sassy about it. But the Lord would always tell me, be very consistent, be very persistent about what you're praying for. So every day the Lord would tell me to pray about a specific person that hurt me. And I had to pray good things over them. And it's so hard to be angry at a person you're praying good for. I noticed that. And the more I prayed, even though I didn't mean it in the beginning, I started to mean what I was praying over them. I was like, Lord, let them have good health, this, and this. And over time, the Lord taught me that truly a lot of unforgiveness, and no matter how much you're wronged, comes from a place of pride. Comes from a place of, I don't want to face this. I don't want to confront this specific thing that has hurt me, because it is painful. And the Lord does not tell us that we're not going to face hurt. Matter of fact, he tells us the opposite of it. However, we hurt the Lord too. That's a funny thing we don't get. As human beings, when we sin, when we live away from the plan of God, we hurt God too. Like, it's not any different than us getting hurt. Except we're hurting a God. Ugh, you know? So it's really a hard process. Another thing I learned as I was learning about unforgiveness was we have to verbalize what was said, what happened that hurt you, and start saying, I forgive you for doing this. Sounds really hurtful. There's a point where someone like had really hurt me, and I had to sit there with the Lord, and I was like, this person did this, and this, but Lord, I forgive them. I didn't mean what I said. I did not, the first like time I said it, I did not mean a thing of what I had said. And I had to continue to profess that, Lord, I've forgiven them. I've let it go. Lord, I do not hold anyone like accountable. I've let them go. They are not found guilty in my eyes. All these things. I had to start verbalizing them. And I would also mention what they said to hurt me. That would hurt because I was like, this person who I thought cared about me did this. And that's where anger wants to come back in. So that's a point where you're like, Lord, I forgive. And you verbally have to start saying it. You're not going to mean it the first time. It's not going to be, oh, like this is something I actually mean. No. You're saying it just so your mind can convince yourself. The Bible tells us what we say to the Lord's hearing is what he will do. The Lord will give you forgiveness as you speak it. That's like one of the easiest things that helped me. Over time, forgiveness becomes easy. Like after this period in my life where I was really vindictive and like the Lord taught me forgiveness is like one of the easiest things for me to do. Like you could hurt me in the craziest way And in my head, I'll be like, Lord, I forgive them, because I know at the end of the day, it helps me more. Like spiritually, I feel lighter. I don't hold grudges anymore because I just physically can't. And it has helped me like move on in such a, I don't want to say lighter way, but you feel lighter as a believer.